What's going on? It's Smiles. Today we're going to be talking about how I made the beat for Money Dance, song by Pxlms with Chamberlain and Chozzery on it. We did this on our Philly retreat. Let's get right into it.
Smile.
Tell me where the money at. Show me where for the bread. Hit the bank and get 100 stack. Put it all inside the bag. Yeah, my bitch gon' do the money dance. We ain't even newlywed. How broke gon' ask me where the toolie at. I just pass it off to him.
All right, first things first, I had this really cool guitar loop off Splice. Yes, I use Splice. All I did with that was just EQ it, cut the lows out so that the 808 can really smack on there, and then added some nice spacey reverb onto it. All right, so after I put the guitar on, I just added this little bass, and I just pitched it up an octave so there wasn't a whole lot of low end to it. You guys can see I added a super sharp high pass filter. I didn't take a whole lot out, but I just wanted to make sure that I was taking any lows that there were out so that my 808 could really come through. Then I added a ARP with the same melody just to add a little bounce to it. You guys can see that I added a pretty aggressive high pass filter on there again, cutting those lows out, just making it a little bit softer of a sound. Then I added some pianos to it, just a really simple roll, playing along with the melody, and I only put that on the hook and then the breakdown, and then when the hook comes back in, just so that there's a little bit of motion within, the melody itself, so you can tell this is the hook, this is the verse. Let's check that out. You guys can see on that one, I did a high pass and a low pass just to kind of create like a little bell or a little, almost like telephone effect on that one, just to give it a very faded, splashy feeling with that reverb in there. Nice long decay on there, not too big as far as the size goes, but just enough so that it's in the background, but it still sounds pretty. Then we go right to the snare. Accent snare to it just to give it just a little bit more motion. You guys can see I added a pretty big reverb on that accent snare. I like doing that sometimes to, I don't know, just give it more of a spacey feeling so it's not too aggressive, too in your face, because that's a big thing. I feel like a lot of snares are too in your face, and I really try to stay away from that, even though I do it sometimes. Then I added a different snare on here, again, just to fill in that last spot right there where the fourth one would go. Again, a lot of reverb on that one. I knew Chamberlain was getting on this one, so I knew it was going to be more R&B flavor to it. So again, I like to play to his strengths with those type sounds, so I just drenched that one in reverb. We put the hi-hat pattern on here, nothing too crazy. Has been trying to build my own rhythm with the actual hi-hats, and they were all in the room when I was making this beat, kind of singing already, so I had a lot of ideas. I knew that there was going to be a heavy bounce to it, so when there is, a heavy bounce to a song, or it's really going to be kind of a clubby song, I always like throwing some type of accent right at the beginning so that you get that like da-da-da-da. Because you're already picking up, like as soon as it comes in, you're already, got that forward, upward motion. So you give that, and then you just kind of play off the other drums, off the melody, and just build your own rhythm with the hi-hats. Next, I put some open hi-hats just for accents. I've been really into these. I feel like a lot of DMV beats do it where they use the open hi-hats just for the whole bounce of the beat, and I love that. So I try to kind of imitate that here, but with this style. And that's just playing on the 1, 4, 2 of the beat, so you get that nice bounce to it. And then I put the 808s on there. I went super simple. I forgot how simple I went with these 808s. And you guys can hear on that the open hi-hats go right with the 808. But that's a great trick, is to just throw those open hi-hats right with the 808 pattern. And then, you know, I like to do, just for a little bit of a switch up on the second half of the loop, I just add another couple hits in there and then bring it up at the end a few notes just to give it, we're turning back around and going to the beginning of the beat. So it's the same thing, just copy and paste it here. I added this extra hit so it has that boom, 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 and then just added a little 808 roll right there. Super fire, super simple. But again, when the artist is in the room, it's so much easier to make the beat because they want to go. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to sit there all day trying to make these 808s super crazy and add, you know, the woo and everything like that on there. You just like, let's just make this hard as quickly as possible, pause, and then get in, you know what I'm saying, into Pro Tools or whatever and get this recorded. Then I added just a couple of perks for some accents on there. Super simple. And then as we went through, I just added some change ups. So right when the verse comes in, we take the drums away. Simplify it for the verse right there, just so that they got some room to breathe after a big hook. And then for the second part of the verse, we go full blast back into everything. Before the hook comes back in. Super simple again. A lot of times I just take the intro and just copy and paste it, but in this case I put those keys back on there just for a little more motion. And that's it for real. Copied and pasted, and as the artist went, like in the actual beat in the session, I chopped it up, made, you know, the changes that were needed. And then when I